All right, everybody. Bank of Canada raised interest rates by one full interest rate hike the other day. Now, don't panic. This isn't a time to panic.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
I've actually got the playbook for you here to prosper and pivot and adapt in 2022. Let's jump into the video here and get those tips. All right, everybody. So 1% interest rate hike. Were we expecting it? Well, we were expecting an interest rate hike. You know, we were thinking between a half a point and 3/4 of a point. We weren't expecting like a full interest rate, raise. Has the government actually been doing what they've been saying that they'd be doing? Not necessarily. Like, do I think the government actually has a solid plan? Not necessarily either. Should they have been doing this a lot sooner? Probably. They're really getting some extra heavy duty brakes here to pump on the economy here. But let's make sure that we're looking at all the aspects of the economy here so that you can really understand what's going on here, okay? Because there's more than just, the price of houses and what the interest rate is, right? So as a real estate investor, or really anybody that's studying the economy, you have to be looking at more than just interest rates. So what else should you be looking at? Well, you should be looking at consumer price index. Now that's kind of a heavily skewed metric when you're trying to judge what's going on in the economy. But you should be paying attention to it. We should also be paying attention to commodity prices. Like, what are commodity prices doing lately? They're kind of getting flatlined. If anything, some things are actually going down. It was actually really nice to, over the long weekend, to not have to be paying like top dollar at the gas pump, right? So gas is coming down a little bit. It's coming down by about 10 to 15%. So that's really nice to see, all right? So pay attention to commodity prices. All right, now this all adds up to inflation. So you want to be paying attention to the month over month increases or decreases in inflation. You should be paying attention to the employment rate here in your country as well. That's important. And even the secondary market, right? Like, and the luxury market, like, what are these things doing? What are used cars selling for? What are watches going for? All these things can really show us, when you look at all of them, it gives us more of a full picture of what's happening in the economy. But I'm a specialist in real estate, so let's talk about real estate investing. What are some things that you can do as a real estate investor to really not just pivot a little bit, but pivot, adapt, and overcome, and really thrive as a real estate investor here moving forward for the next couple years? So here's your tips. The first one is, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, definitely make sure you go and hit that subscribe button. Absolutely smash it. That's right, smash that subscribe button. We're growing the following all the time, and we really appreciate it. Okay, so the first real point here would be, go find a way to go make some more money. I'm always touting to people, go get a side hustle, go be more valuable to the workplace, to the economy. Make sure that you're waking up a little bit earlier, work a little bit later. Hey, money solves a lot of different problems, okay? So you need a side hustle. Don't just think that you should be sitting on the sidelines, twiddling your thumbs, that everything's gonna be okay, your parents are gonna bail you out, the government's gonna bail you out. Well, they might actually start to, who knows? This might be the beginning of just more government handouts, you never know. But go and make some more income. Point number 2 is, if you're gonna go make more income, if you're gonna make another side hustle, you don't necessarily have to go and sign up and be a realtor, okay? And nothing against my realtor friends or my brokerage friends. There's a lot of very talented realtors out there. So why not let them do what they do best, which is to move and sell the inventory that's on the market right now that might be sitting anyways. But if you are gonna be a realtor, just make sure you got the work ethic, you got the backbone, and you got the stomach to ride this out and to really dig in and become a master of your craft here over the next 3 to 5 years. Next point is, don't sell unless you absolutely have to, all right? Because I think what's gonna be happening here is that we might still go down in price, but we're gonna start to recover and we're gonna come back up. This is what things do over time. They're always gonna be ups and downs, but they're always eventually kind of moving up, to the right, or is it this way? I'm not sure. We're on a camera here. So, if you can afford to hold that property for another, let's say 18 to 24 months, I think we're gonna get through a lot of the messiness and uncertainty of what's going on in the market here. And maybe you might cash flow negative a little bit. It's definitely gonna impact your cash flow. And I'll talk about the cash flow numbers and what this means to people that have mortgages right now a little bit later in the video. But if you can weather the storm, just keep in mind that you're gonna be paying the mortgage down as well. So you're gonna be decreasing that mortgage, and over time you're gonna be creating that wedge. So 5 years from now, you're probably looking back going, hey, that purchase wasn't so bad. Real estate's still gone up by its historic, inflation rate, which is, around that 3.5 to 4% range. So hey, just don't sell if you don't feel like you have to. Next point is, don't buy right now unless you really know what you're doing, okay? Unless you've been studying the market and you know what you need to do as a real estate investor to go out there and, find the source of the deals, maybe negotiate things off market, build relationships with people that do control the inventory, like realtors, and maybe be able to pick up, pocket listing or be on their their list of people that are known to close on deals. I think it's awesome that realtors are actually getting a little bit more creative and creating these lists of realtors that actually do close and they have a long track record of closing on properties. Then maybe it's not the best time for you to get in the market. All right. Next point is here to actually take some time to get educated. Study the history of money, the history of real estate prices, the history of inflation. What do employment rates do during these challenging times, right? So it's such a great time. During the last market downturn, it was like a master class of what to do in the stock market and the housing market. And I don't think this is going to be too much different here. So even get yourself a mentor, read books, get yourself into rooms around people that know what they're doing, right? They got the track record, they have the experience. So this is a great time to get educated and really fill yourself up on the skills and the knowledge that you need to move forward. All right, next point is, this kind of like goes with my first point, but first point was to make more income. This point is actually talking about cutting your expenses, okay? So many people are just buying nonsense stuff that doesn't really matter, all right? Why are you buying these types of things? And every business should be looking to increase their income and also keep the expenses in check too. And your house, your financial house that you need to keep in order at your home, you need to be looking at the expenses as well. So every single month, look at all the line items that you're spending money on, whether they're memberships or leases or things that you're buying at the stores. Is it really a want or is it a need? And you got to make sure that you're really always working to keep the expenses down. I know I am, you should as well. It's just a best practice that I've practiced for decades. And it's something that's served me extremely well over the past many years. Now, if you are going to invest, this is my next point here. Maybe you should actually link arms and get closer to people that know what they're doing, all right? So maybe you don't need to be doing all the hard work. Maybe just find a way to do business with someone who's already been doing this for a decade or two. And it's a good use of your time, right? If you really like your day job, you don't want to quit it, but you want to make sure that you put that money to work, because that's what the smart people do, right? We talked about increase your income, decrease your expenses. You got this money in the middle, you got to make sure that you put that money to work. And maybe it does make sense for you to do some business with people that are already doing this, invest in their businesses, collaborate, find a way to put your money to work. It's a great time to do that as well. Now, the next point is you need to be going for the higher yielding real estate investing strategies. So what are some of those? All right. The BRRRR is not dead. So that's when you buy something, you renovate it, you re-rent it, you refinance it, and then you repeat it. Okay, so the BRRRR is not dead. You just have to make sure that you're getting better deals on the buy. You're more patient. Maybe you do your renovations over time or in phases, or you do it strategically, or frankly, you just do really easy cosmetic renovations, okay? So when you can buy things for, let's say 80 cents or 70 cents on the dollar of what they were a year ago, you're gonna be doing okay, all right? So you can do the BRRRR. You could also offer different things and amenities to your tenants or your renters, right? So you could try doing a little bit of short-term or furnished rentals, or maybe it's medium-term. You want to make sure that you understand the bylaws and what's going on in your city and your municipality when it comes to doing furnished rentals or shorter term rentals. I also even like student rentals, right? I kind of cut my teeth over a decade ago doing student rentals, and I've been slowly phasing out of it. But with a lot of my 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom units, I still need to rent them to students once in a while. And believe it or not, during COVID, at least in a lot of the markets that I play in, a lot of that student rental inventory was permanently taken off the market because homeowners could have gotten such a good strike price or selling price for it. That's what they chose to do. They're like, you know what? I'm done with the student rental. It's been kind of crazy here during COVID. Students wanting to cancel their lease, assign their lease, complaining, wanting discounts, all these different things. So I'm actually just going to empty out the house and sell it. So what did that do? Lower supply. The demand is still there. If not, it's going up. School's back in. It's back in person. So that means that people are going to want to still be renting places by the room. If you're a student, right? You're going to school, you need a place to stay. So what used to rent for, let's say, maybe $600 a room or $700 a room, now I'm hearing stories about like $750 to $850, even $900 a room in some markets, which is great. It just goes to show that rents are going up as things are inflating as well. Groceries are going up over the past year, gas has gone up. Hey, rent and the cost of living is going to go up too. So if you have the stomach, if you have the skills and the talent and that assertiveness to manage student properties, that could be a really great strategy for you as well. So go for the higher yielding strategies, because right now the best inventory is on sale. The best cities, the best areas of those cities. So you can get these things, these prime locations at a big discount compared to the last couple of years. And I think they're going to keep going down a little bit more with the next hikes that we're going to be getting. Are we going to keep getting more hikes? Yes, we're not through this yet. So, the market's going to continue to soften and you'll be able to get more and more deals. All right, and one of my last points or last tips of advice here is you need to learn how to get more creative, and don't be afraid to ask for what you want when you're buying real estate here in the future. So I think it's something that people haven't had to do very much, or frankly, they weren't able to do when the market was going up like a rocket. But hey, what's the seller gonna do now if their property's sitting on the market and they really need to sell? They're gonna have to be open to playing ball with people a little bit more. And don't ask, don't receive is always my saying. So, will they actually let you do renovations before you own the property? I think they would. Will they let you, maybe you could ask them to be the bank and they could help finance your property until rates come down a little bit. That's a definite possibility, or maybe help you out with a second position mortgage. That could happen, all right? But I do know that people are gonna need to be more creative, and creativity is gonna be definitely a skill that's gonna be in demand if you want to take down the sharpest deals. There you go, gang. That's the video for today. Now, if you like this and you want to attend some of our meetups or get closer to us more in proximity, because proximity is power, we have some events coming up here in July, August, and September. So I'll have some links down below in the description where you can sign up. We'd enjoy having you and having you as a guest. There may or may not be a cost to it, but just see every event's gonna be a little bit different. And if you're interested in joining some of our high performance training options, we have multiple different options out there. If you really wanna go deep, if you want to really invest in yourself here, these are great times to get educated and learn about what's going on and how you can take down some of the best deals, or we'll take them down for you and we'll keep them. Again, just go fill out an application on our website and we'll book a call and we can talk about that. But again, I just wanted to thank everybody for tuning into this video here. Real estate investing is not dead. You just have to be a little bit more astute, work on your skills, work on your fundamentals, and know what's going on and how you should actually play your cards moving forward. Until next time, guys and gals, make sure that you keep buying real estate, put out those offers, and be amazing.